Today I'm going to be going over whether the iPhone XR is worth it or not in 2024, and whether you should use it as your daily driver or not. So the first thing that we're going to go over today is the cameras. There's one single 12 megapixel camera on the back, as you can see right here, with a microphone and an LED flash. And then on the front side we have the Face ID sensors, infrared, and front camera, which is only 7 megapixels, which is not very good, to be honest. And then we have the earpiece, which is good for phone calls. And as you can see, we over here on the front side we have the status, like the battery life, cellular data, which I don't have my SIM installed, and then we have the Wi-Fi. Okay, typically on the other side of the screen you would see the time, but because we're on the lock screen right now, the time is not there. So let me go ahead and unlock it. So it's unlocked now, and now you can see the time is up there. And if we just go ahead and let's start with the performance test. So the performance on this iPhone is kind of underwhelming, but like not too bad at the same time. It looks worse on here probably than it is in real life. But yeah, it's only a 60Hz display, which is kind of unfortunate considering the iPhone 14 Pro and 15 Pro models have a 120Hz display. And another downside that comes with the display is the fact that you can literally see the pixels. Like if I do this, you can see the pixels. Like they're starting to show up. Like, do you see those? They're kind of big, especially considering this is a iPhone from 2018. So yeah, I do not like I had never been a fan of the display ever since I got this phone. This was my original iPhone. So I just don't like it. It's just not good. And that's the real downside, I think, with this phone and the cameras. There's only one camera. So that's the real downside with these cheaper Apple devices that are cheaper than the flagships, is because some corner has to be cut. Like, it looks all good in the beginning. They advertise it. They call the display Super Retina XDR, whatever it was. That's just a marketing gimmick. You gotta actually know that the displays kind of suck on these. And I'm not sure about the SE2 or the SE3 third generation, but like those probably aren't very good either. But yeah, as you can see, I'm running the iOS 18 beta, but yeah, the display is not the best, but like the refresh rate's not too bad. It's just coming from an iPhone 14 Pro, which has an 120Hz refresh rate display, and it gets 120 FPS games, and stuff like that. It's not ideal for me personally, but as someone who maybe just uses this phone to like call and like play simple games maybe, and scroll social media, it's not too bad. So the next thing we're going to go over is battery life, and let me just go ahead and cut right to the point. The battery life on this thing honestly sucks. Like, it's like probably one of the worst phones battery life wise, and especially for me, because yeah, so we're in settings, and if we go to, where is it, the battery, yep, and if we go to, yeah, it says service, see, because yeah, my battery life is awful because the battery health is awful. And if you can see right here, it says 79% maximum capacity, and the capacity of this phone is already bad when it comes to battery life. Like, at first, when you first get it, it's not too bad. Maybe it could last you like 2 years, but then you start to notice that performance starts chugging, and your phone gets hot way too easily. And yeah, it's just overall, this phone is good for a few years, and then after you've had it for a few years, it just kind of gets mid. Like, it's not very good anymore. But especially when it comes to performance games, like even like Roblox, they don't even do that well. Like, they kind of lag and just not the best. But like if you open a simple app like Google or something, and you're like scrolling through like news feeds and stuff, it doesn't do too bad. Like, so I'd recommend it for like people who just like play casual games maybe. But like, I wouldn't recommend it for much longer, because of the fact that iOS 18 is probably the last major software update it will receive. So yeah, if you're some casual like grandma or something who just wants a simple iPhone that can get things like simple things done, like calling people, like FaceTiming and texting and stuff. You probably get RCS too, which is nice because, yeah, Android. But yeah, if you want something like simple that can get certain stuff done, like maybe play simple games like, I don't know, Candy Crush, or just call people, then this phone is not too bad. But like I wouldn't be recommending it necessarily because of the fact that it probably is not going to be getting updates for too much longer. But oh yeah, we do have one more thing to go over. Unlike newer iPhones, at least in the US, this phone has a physical SIM. So let me just go ahead and take the case off real quick. So let's talk about the design of this phone. It's like my favorite iPhone design. Besides like the camera, I don't like how it's like a single pop-out camera. That's really weird for Apple. I think that looks a lot more like Android, which I don't mind Android. I think Android's cool, but like I don't have any Android devices. But yeah, the design of this phone feels really premium, and it just feels really good in your hands. I've always loved how it like felt in my hands, and I especially like the screen design that they made the notch really fit in well with the phone, I feel like. But I kind of wish that these bezels were blue, because that would just like, I don't know, just makes more sense to me. But at least they're black and not white, like the iPhone 7 Plus or in the red color was, because that was just awful. That just looked terrible. Luckily, they did learn a little later on with phones, but anyway, I believe this is some kind of steel or aluminum that they have going on here. And you can see that the antenna bands over here, it supports 4G LTE. Unfortunately, no, they do not have 5G in iPhones yet for another 2 years. But you can see the volume rockers over here, and then we have the ring switch, and then we have Type Lightning port right here, and it does support faster charging. And luckily, one really good thing about this phone is it does have QI support. I think it's not QI2, but it is still, or Qi or whatever it's called. It still supports fast charging. I mean, it still supports fast charging with the charger, and it supports wireless charging through like, not MagSafe. It unfortunately doesn't support MagSafe, but it does support wireless charging through like a conventional wireless charger. And so yeah, that's pretty much it with the design of the phone. And now we're gonna go to like what I recommend this phone in 2024, almost 6 years after its original launch date in like September around that of that year. Let's just say I would not recommend it, but I wouldn't go against it if it's something that you want. If you like want to step in the Apple ecosystem and don't have a lot of money, probably find a pre-owned one on eBay or like some other site. But yeah, I wouldn't really recommend this. But like if you're like a grandma or like some like baby boomer or something who needs a phone that's kind of fast and has like nice like features like iPhones do, I would not go against it. I would say that I would recommend it actually for those scenario people. But for like the modern like techies like I am and many millions of other people, I would not recommend this phone. I would honestly not recommend this phone unless you're in like a developing country and you want like an iPhone or something. I would not, personally. So that's just a practical 2024 review of the iPhone, and I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe and smash the like button. You can share this video with your friends if you want. But that is all from me today, and I hope you enjoyed my review in 2024 of this iPhone. See you guys later.